Yes. June 2018, a Woman's Day. Yes. I was just looking through this magazine and there's some very interesting information. Yeah. And quite often when I read women's magazines, yes, or look at vintage clothing, I actually want a family, and for some reason you thought that you could obstruct that. That means that I want sons, yes. I want to know if Marilyn wants me to adopt her children, yes. I want volunteers and I want to have more babies. Now, every day that I sleep on an emergency couch, yes. Every day that you violated my right to procreate, which you've really, you really upset me. Now, I want you to protect my right, yes, to have children because you're obstructing my right to actually have children. Now, knowing that certain somebody's in her late 40s, yes, we have a biological time clock that I feel as an American citizen that knowing that I'm 48 years old, right, that when I say that I want to make babies and you refuse to enforce my civil rights, you'll find out, well, there's a biological clock that I'm very cognizant of every day. Now, where the fuck is Mike? Yes. Did he pay Judge Porter? And then for the last 5 years that you sent my court notices to that address and you refused to prosecute him, yes, for exploiting his daughter, his family, and his wife, I'm going to, well, we have a biological clock that is ticking. Now, when I told you for the last year, yes, that image is not Susan Bowers, and I provided in the last email, yes, an actual picture of Marilyn, yes. When I told you, well, I'm going to want to talk to her, okay, and I'm going to want to find out if she wants to have children. And it's important that we do this while she's still ovulating because at that age, she's not far from menopause. So every time that you decided that you were going to obstruct my right to have children, you're going to get sued. You have to protect the constitutional right to have children. Oh. Now, that is a fraudulent court order. Yes, you spent the last 2.5 years retaliating against me for wanting, yes, yes, my rights enforced, and I have quite a few persons that I'd like to interview about volunteering to have babies. Oh. Now, open the door to a treatment for moderate to severe painful intercourse after menopause. I don't want to have an after menopause with women until I've had children with them. Yes. Now, I'm wanting to really look at this. Of all of those, yes, that have to have prescribed a vaginal cream, yes. Why don't you give me all the vaginal creams of all of those that are not menopausal and those that are pro? I told you about the erectile dysfunction of those in Washington, D.C. Yes. There seems to be some sort of smell that if you were to volunteer, yes, and you notice that out of your vagina there's a smell that at times can be unattractive. Yes, it can. And as often as I've asked for, well, just in the last 2 or 3 days, those volunteers that want to model the last 100 years of lingerie, and I encourage all the employees and the other volunteers to ask them to remove their clothing, then put it back on. I think it's important for a woman that sees lingerie to know what the person looked like naked, yes, and then watches them put it on in front of them, yes. If they were to smell anything, well, get me all the prescriptions for it's not a yeast infection, is it? Ooch. Your vagina got greened because you had sex with a dog, yes, and their sperm happens to be toxic. to the actual female population of the United States of America. So for every prescription of all vaginal creams, yes, I'd like to know how many of them actually got fucked by a dog. Now, I know your hard dick's not funny. And I'm wanting to reprogram the sense of humor of America's teenagers. But for every one of them that thought that I was kind of joking around about keeping your hymen, folks, you do not break the hymen unless you want to have a baby. Stay a virgin. Because you might have that one sexual experience, yes, where the dog fucks your ovulation and your pussy stinks for the rest of your life. Ouch! Because they get it.